Hey, welcome to the Watch and Whisper channel. This is G Butterfly, and I'm coming to you live from the bed today. Well, I want to talk about Bell Collective. I know I'm 2 episodes behind, so I'm going to talk about episode, I think it's 3, and then I'll come back and do episode 4. But I'm going to try to go through everything pretty quick. As you know, I have notes, so when you see me looking down, you already know I'm trying to keep up with what I wrote down. Alrighty, so the story picks up where the ladies were last week, well, 2 weeks ago at this point, in the restroom. Latisha really wants Marie and Latrice to have a conversation. Marie is still in the restroom, not taking any accountability for anything. Latisha goes to get Latrice, brings Latrice to the restroom. Latrice tells Mickey, I'm sorry, Dan, where did I get Mickey from? Tells Marie that she didn't have anything to do with this information that came out that she was supposedly doing something fraudulent at her offices, which is some type of clinic. She has some type of clinic. I know she's supposed to be opening up a methadone clinic, but supposedly she was doing something illegal when it came to Medicaid or Medicare. Now, Latisha felt like both ladies were her friends and they should have tried to work it out just for the sake of her, and this was her event. Well, if you watched the episode, you know that it did not turn out well. Latrice started to talk, and as soon as she said, I would give her 15 words, Marie shut it down. She said, I'm done with it. Marie did not give her actual opportunity to discuss what the real issue is. And Latrice didn't want to go in there anyway. She was just doing it for Latisha. She said because she just really not feeling Marie like that. And Marie can just believe whatever she want to believe. And she really don't care at that point. Now, Marie said that she didn't cause a scene at the brunch. Well, we all know that is a big fat lie. Marie has caused a scene per what we see on the episodes. A scene at 2 of her different brunches, and both with Latrice. And Latrice doesn't start it. It's always Marie with her bad, nasty attitude. Marie pretty much said that she was going to leave. She didn't want to hear anything. She told Tisha that she was backpedaling. Tisha got hot too. She said, don't be telling me I'm backpedaling, because I'm not backpedaling. So she was kind of hot around the collar about that one. Akeisha said that she was leaving because she had never been invited to a brunch. While all this foolery was going on, she said she was not empowered at the empowerment brunch. So she, said some more little slick shit and she left. Marie decides to leave. Latisha is crying in the arms of the producer, and she was just saying that Marie is not taking accountability for anything, which is true. Marie will not admit to her part in all the wrongdoings that's happening on the show that involves her crying. Now, I was thinking she should have just cussed Marie out, and maybe Marie would have probably grasped more of what she had done and the depths of which she had hurt Latisha at her event. So her being all nice to Marie didn't do anything, because Marie left, and the only one that was left crying was Latisha. And so Latisha gathers herself and she returns to the table, and she said an affirmation for the ladies, and after that the ladies pretty much left. So JJ and So Gucci, they arrived to Cliff and Latrice's house. They live on 30 acres. They say they've been there for about 7 years, and they've built out like an event space on their land where people can have parties, receptions, weddings, family reunions, and it was very nice for what we could see. Well, the 2 couples went ATVing. They had like 4-wheel ATVs, and the ladies were all glammed up, and the guys were pretty much dressed for it. They knew that they were going to be on ATVs, going through the property, slinging mud on each other. So I couldn't understand, why did Latrice start off with like a little beanie thing, but all of her loose wig was out. So I couldn't understand that, but to each his own. She has a hair store. She probably can switch her hair out every day if she wanted to. They seemed like they were having a really good time. So they ended up going into the event space, having some cocoa that was kicked up a notch with something they was drinking. I couldn't tell what it was, but it had a milky look to it. And they were talking about what had happened at the luncheon, the brunch, and talking about Marie. And Latrice said she's just really not feeling Marie, and if they can't move forward, she's okay with it. But then they got on the subject of Latrice having a baby for Cliff, and again she said that she really wasn't ready to have a baby, and she's afraid that if she does not have the baby, what would happen with her marriage, because she says she loves her husband, but he really wants a baby, and she's just not in the right headspace to think about having a baby right now. So Tambra, she meets up with Ikea. God, did I just call that woman Ikea? I meant Akeisha. They met up at a juice bar, and they talked about the event at the brunch. And Latisha was still being shady about the whole thing. She said that her kids were bad as hell. Take her hat off to women who actually have businesses, or work a regular job and still are able to care for their children. She was saying how it's just a lot. And she also discussed about her many miscarriages that she had with her husband. I think they've been married about 10 years. She had multiple miscarriages, and then she said they even tried IVF, and she named something else, but I can't remember what the acronym was for the other procedures that she was going through trying to have a baby. However, she did say that her baby was conceived naturally. I think when she said my kids are bad as hell, so maybe she have twins. But she was saying how thankful she was that she was able to have her children. And she said children truly are miracles, because it was a miracle that she was able to carry these kids. Or did she use a surrogate? One of the two. Latrice went to see her mom. Now, this was a very interesting conversation. She went to see her mom, and her mom just talked about her upbringing and the role that the father played in their lives. And the mother came out and told her, you know, Latrice, you married your dad. And Latrice's mom was saying that Cliff reminds her so much of her former husband because he's very jealous-hearted. And Latrice and her mother feels like Cliff only wants her to have a baby, but tie it down and keep tabs on her so she wouldn't be as free as she is now. And the mother was saying that Cliff is her son-in-law. She gets that, but she doesn't like to see her daughter cry. And Latrice was just saying she's very afraid to have a baby because she don't want the baby to grow up without the father being in the life. She was saying how traumatic her upbringing was without her father. Then the brother who stepped up, he ended up either dying or going to prison, and then another one died, and something happened to another one. So she just say her experience with men is that they never stay around and that they always leave. Excuse me. And she don't want to have a child, and that's her greatest fear, is to have a child and then the father is not there. And in the first episode, I can remember saying in my review that it had to be something that was a little deeper with Latrice and why she didn't want to have a child. And there it is. It came out in episode 3. Marie tells Essie professionally her life is on point, but personally her life is in shambles. She was saying that her and Cedric are separated. They're not legally divorced, but she was going to have to buy him a Rolex watch for him to start building a better relationship with. I think he's only the father of the little girl. And Essie was like, you mean to tell me you got to pay him to be a part of your children's life? And she was like, well, you know, he did ask me for that before we separated. Now, in my opinion, it seemed like Maria just willing to do anything for Cedric, even though he treats her like shit. And if she got to pay him and buy gifts for him to spend time with the daughter, he really is shit, in my opinion. Marie said that she's tired of supporting everyone and she doesn't get the same level of support in return. And I think she means that from her friends, her family, her children, and her husband. And Marie said that Essie is her sister, her soulmate, her other half. I'm like, well, wait a damn minute now. I don't really hear people saying that about their best friend. I'm like, that sounded a little interesting, but maybe we'll find out some more as the episodes continue to go on. That's really it on episode 3. It really didn't give a whole lot. So that's why my notes were kind of just real basic and to the point, because it wasn't a really good show. The best part was when they were in the restroom and they were fussing. And I just didn't like to see Latrice cry. I'm sorry, Latisha cry. I think she's trying really hard to bring these ladies together and do something positive in her community. It's just like the situation with Glenn is just making her very upset. So I didn't like seeing her cry. Then on top of that, Marie and Latrice went at it in the Latrice went at it in the restroom. So I didn't like to see that. But all right, this was my Bells Collective episode 3. Again, it was boring. But y'all tell me in the comments, do you watch Bell Collective? Do you really like it? What's your opinion on the different characters? They have Tambra, Ikea, Latrice, Latisha, Marie, and Soguchi. So let me know so far, what are your thoughts on the characters? And as you go in the comments, I'll get in the comments with you. All right, this G Butterfly. Talk to you later.